Today is January 23rd, 2019, and there has been yet another mass shooting. For all we know, this could be mass shooting number 20, because you know they're not going to report every last one of them. But it's another mass shooting nonetheless, and it doesn't surprise me of the location it happened at as far as the state and who the perpetrator is. So this man's name is Zephen, or is it Zephen? Xaver is spelled Zephenxaver. What a combination of a name to use some the two letters that are probably the hardest to come up with or to use to create a name, a Z and an X. But anyway, he decided that he was going to go on a little shooting spree at a bank down in Florida where 5 people have been declared dead. It said that it happened in Sebring, Florida, at a Suntrust bank. But guess what? Even after he killed those 5 people, he was still taken in alive. I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from Yahoo. It says, at least 5 people were killed when a gunman opened fire in a SunTrust bank in Sebring, Florida on Wednesday. The 21-year-old suspect, Zephen Xaver, barricaded himself inside before later surrendering to authorities. The suspect had contacted authorities and told them he fired shots inside the bank. Sending officers rushing the suspect to leave weren't successful, so a SWAT team was sent in. Negotiations then continued, police said, and the suspect eventually surrendered. Now, let's take a trip back to 2016. Let's go back 3 years ago. When Michael Johnson did what he did, they didn't have no negotiations. They sent in this robotic bomb and blew him up. But this guy single-handedly killed 5 people, which was the same amount of people Michael Johnson killed. He called them and told them that he did what he did. They came and tried to negotiate with him. They didn't. That wasn't successful. And then they called SWAT. So they called 2 sets of law enforcement. And they the way it sounded, they probably damn near called the third. So they almost probably would have called the FBI, leave it up to them, before they finally got him out. Michael Johnson, like I said, wasn't successful. I'm guessing the reason being Michael Johnson killed 5 cops. That's probably what it was. But let's continue. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis tweeted, "Please continue to keep the victims and their families in your prayers." It says police said the situation was confined to the bank and there is no danger to the surrounding area. Sebring is located about 90 miles south of Orlando. A SunTrust bank spokesperson said, "We are working closely with officials and seeking to take care of everyone affected at our Sebring branch." Now, you want to know what's so interesting about this? A couple days ago, at that protest in D.C., we had the Hebrew Israelites confront those white kids. And the one thing they said was, "Y'all commit mass shootings," or something to that effect. And when they said that, those white kids got quiet and they walked off because they knew it was true. Who would have thought that less than a week later, after that confrontation and them saying those true words, a mass shooting committed by a white guy would happen? It's not like they called it. It's just like it's become routine. We are literally about to repeat 2018. Remember last year, there were just almost as amount. It was just about as much mass shootings than there were days. Remember, there's 365 days, and I think they had 340 something mass shootings. Of course, not all of those shootings were reported on a mass scale. Just the ones that they deemed newsworthy. Now, I'm on this 5 Facts website, and I'm going to see if there's anything on here that the other article didn't touch. Okay, I see the first one says that he entered the bank and opened fire, and he called 911 and said that he was in the building and he shot. We already talked about that. Number 2, it says he is a Sebring resident, originally from Indiana, and has attended this college. Who cares about that? It says the motive for the shooting has not been revealed, but He says he's a senseless criminal doing senseless crime. Well, I'm glad they call him a criminal, but that's not the word I was looking for. It says the governor says he needs to face swift and exacting justice. I can agree with that. And it says state and local police along with the FBI continue to investigate the shooting. The word I was looking for was terrorist. Of course, we're not going to find it here because the shooter was or is white. I can't say was because he's still breathing. They took him in alive because, I guess they said, oh, he was kind enough to give us a call. But, another day, another mass shooting, and of course, it's happening in Florida. I'm curious to see what Lovely T has to say about this, just so I could hear her say ratchet ass Florida. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.